Hey up YouTube, Iron Tyrant here, and in this video we're going to be covering the fourth and final faction of my mini exploration series. This is going to be of course the Minmatar and their basic exploration frigate, the Probe. So let's start with the fit. The Probe does have the same slots as Vindicus, meaning the fit is going to be more or less exactly the same. The only thing I've swapped out is the scanning upgrade, this time for a scan pinpointing array. This in hindsight would have been better for the Vindicus also. So, the rig slots, here we're going to have two small gravity capacitor upgrades. This is going to help us with the scanning down sites, to use a scan strength bonus of 10%. High slots, we're going to have the core probe launcher, which is going to have its 8 scanner probes, so we can scan down the sites. The salvage one, not needed, but if you do come across any wrecks, you can be able to salvage them. And a prototype cloaking device, in case you want to cloak up. This again isn't needed, but it's a nice addition. Moving on to the medium power slots. First up, we're going to have this relic and data analyzers. These are there, so once we've scanned down the sites, we can actually hack them. Then, as I mentioned previously, the scan pinpointing array. Basically it helps with your scan deviation modifier, which compared to previously, where I have the other upgrade fitted, this helped with the scan bonus strength. But as we've already got the small gravity capacitors, I decided the pinpoint array will be more beneficial. Although you could swap this out for a cargo scanner, if you've got already decent scanning skills, because obviously then you can scan each can, see if there's anything of value in them. Compared to with this, you're going to have to complete each hack to see if there's anything of value. So this is down to personal preference. I mean, of course we've got our upgraded micro warp drive to help navigating once on site and to help improve those site completion times. And finally, moving on to his low power slots, here we're going to have 3 nanofiber internal structures once again, as these are going to help with our velocity and manoeuvrability, helping us align faster and complete sites quicker. So that's this fit covered. Let's look at the cost of this one. The cost does roughly come in as the same as my other fits, obviously the only difference being the ship and a couple of different modules. So the cost, without the extras, is going to come in at just under 1 million ISK. Comes in at 977,000 ISK. With the extras, it comes in at 2,132,000 ISK, which is pretty pricey for a new player. Also, you are going to be carrying drones with this, which I forgot to mention in the other bit. Here we're going to have 5 hobgoblins, but any DPS drones would do, and they're not essential to the fit. You don't need them, but if you do get attacked, on a very rare chance in high sec, they're nice to have there. So that's this fit pretty much covered. Let's move on to seeing how it works in action. So here we jump in, just warping into a site. So we're in the probe here. Just as warping into this site. The one I'm using doesn't have the cargo scanner fitted, as you can see from active modules. I've gone for the scanning upgrade over the scanner. So we're in a data site here, and there's 2 nodes to hack. Obviously here we could use a cargo scanner, but we don't have it, so let's see what we get. So obviously we're just looking for the system core here. We're just going through the hack as we go through. So that didn't really affect me because I know there's no in that bit anyway. Completed that side. And there we go, the system core. See, if we'd had the cargo scanner, we might have skipped that one, but hey ho, let's move on to the next one. Obviously using their micro warp drive to manoeuvre faster. And let's begin the hack. So again, we're just looking for the system core. Any buffs like that do come in handy. We're hitting quite a few antiviruses on this one. And defensive, should I say. Time to use the buff. And there we go, system core. So again, not brilliant, but it's still the loot in the end of the day. So that's this site done. Let's get ready to move on to the next one. Here's warping out. And by the power of editing, here we go, warping into the next site. This site we're warping into now is going to be a relic site. While we're warping in, I've probably got to say the probe is probably, like the Imicus in fairness, a bit weird looking. It's got its big solar fins on like many of the Minmatar ships do. But looks wise I probably do think it looks better than the Imicus. It looks more like a thrown together ship in a way. Which again I suppose Minmatar, most of their ships are thrown together. So we go, let's move in on the first one. And start the hack. Ooh, a buff straight off the bounce, that's always nice. And another one. So the problem is now we are actually stuck on this one because obviously we're going to have to manoeuvre around these two viruses we've just hit. So moving across. And here we go. To use a buff obviously. Hopefully we'll come across the system car somewhere. There we go. Perfect. Hack completed. So let's start by moving on to the next one. Obviously again using the micro warp drive to manoeuvre faster. And there we go, we're in range. So just going through the hack again. That's not good. So the buffs are nice, can help with us. Hopefully we'll come across it somewhere. I'm gonna have to use the buffs here maybe. And bingo, system core. So now we can get the loot. There we go, another one down. Some of the eagle-eyed, or more observant of you might have already noticed, I actually left the hobgoblins in my cargo bay rather than moving them over to the drone bay, which could have been a fatal error if it had been attacked, so it's always worth double checking stuff, just to make sure everything's in its correct place. Obviously starting the next hack. Continue by going through it. And system core, nice easy one there. Still the loot's not brilliant, but obviously some sites out there do pay more, and I thought it'd be a fair representation to show you the sites I come across rather than looking for better sites. Because these were the first two sites I come across when I was looking for them for this video. So again, just to give a fair representation, I used them rather than looking for better sites. So we're just completing this final hack, and there we go. Job's a good one. Thank you for watching. This has been Iron Tyrant. Fly safe out there.